Welcome to Tucson, Arizona, the Keno Sport Complex. Today we have FC Tucson against Toronto FC2. It's some USL League One matchup kicking off week 14 of the season. I'm Mark Schoenster here to call the action for you, but it's a fun one here today. We have the series finale between these two sides. Both have played each other twice already this season, and today they meet for the final time in the regular season. Let's now take a look at their previous matchups between these two. The first one was the home opener for Tucson back in April. It was a tight affair in this game. It stayed scoreless for a lot of the matchup, but in the 73rd minute, Jameel Cox was able to put Tucson ahead in front of the home crowd. You see right here, been set up nicely in the box and able to sneak it past a couple of defenders and the keeper. But Toronto was able to respond rather quickly, scoring just 6 minutes later in the 79th minute. Jordan Hamilton with the goal. A usual MLS regular came down to play for Toronto in this game and was able to draw this game up right here. And then if you go ahead and look at the second matchup between these two, which also happened to be a home opener, but for Toronto in this case, it was another tight matchup, the first one being that 1-1 draw. This one could have been very much a draw or a Tucson win with some of these close shots early in this matchup for the away team. Taking a look at these opportunities here, Perusa trying to get one in there. And then later in the game, Perusa is actually going to get a goal, setting up Schaffelberg, who just got his MLS contract. Sets him up here, and Perusa able to punch in a goal and give Toronto the 1-0 lead. But with that, we're going to go to break. After that, you're going to get your action first half right here on ESPN+. It's the series finale between FC Tucson and Toronto FC2. We're about to get our starting lineups shown in just a second, and then we will be underway for kickoff. Once again, I'm Mark Schoenster calling the action for you here today on ESPN+. But let's take a look at the lineups now. First off, we have what it looks Tucson, the home side. The only thing really worth it noticing is that Carlos Mauricio is playing in his fourth game, his fourth start over in keeper. The other worth noting is Raheem Summersall, who just got called up recently to his U23 national team. So he'll definitely be one to watch today, playing on a good mood. Moving on to Toronto's lineup, we get a look at it, a couple of very interesting notes. Jordan Faria getting his 3rd start of the season over there at the left wing side on offense. But the biggest to note is the one keeper, which is Yan Filion, getting his 1st ever League One appearance and will be keeping up the end of their defensive line at keeper. The very interesting thing to look out for, see if he can handle it, the 22-year-old. With that in mind, we can take it back to the field in just a moment. As the players line up, we got Tucson on the left side wearing their all-black home kits, whilst Toronto wearing their all-white away kits. Let's take a look at tonight's Banner University Medicine injury report. None reported for Toronto, but Keenan Weeks has been called out for Tucson. That's the keeper for their side, but will not be finding any action here today. That will be going to Marancio, and he will have to most likely carry the 90 minutes and added time as we await the whistle to be blown by head official Karen Collado. And we are underway between these two sides, the series finale. Toronto won the first matchup, or they won the second matchup at home 1-0. The first was a 1-1 draw here at Keno North Stadium. And they are going to be the first ones with the ball, taking it, just knocking it around midfield. And it goes all the way back to that keeper, Filion, who his first time taking the field in USL League One history, his 1st ever appearance, and obviously his 1st ever start. Mohammed down the left side, gives it to Faria. It's back to Mohammed, he knocks it back to their back line. Franco Ramos Mingo gives it to West, and then he gets it back. Taking their time. So the series finale between these two sides. Michael Rabaska, the head coach of Toronto, said that of the opposing side in Tucson, that they are consistent, pretty structured, have a good organization, very clear in their identity. As Toronto now enters into the attacking third, Dorsey tries to cross it in, but it's deflected out. It'll be a Toronto throw-in though. Bjornson the one knocking it out. It's going to go all the way back to back line, almost coughed up, and it's going to be stolen away. That's Cox with the ball. He crosses it over to the left side. Jamga with it. Looking around. Gives it back to the top. That's Vega. Top left corner. He gets stolen away almost abruptly by Dorsey. He gets knocked around a little bit. And crisis has been averted for Toronto after that misstep of a pass back. Meant to be a safe play and turned into the complete opposite. But Toronto looks at this Tucson team, says they have good organization. Pardon my just slip of the tongue. As Faria goes down the left side, gives it to Avalle, crosses it into the middle, and it's going to be picked up by Marancio. Just missed in the middle of the box by the Toronto Strikers. Getting some looks early in this game. Looks like we could be in for a competitive full 90 minutes. No time to waste. No lollygagging for at least this Toronto side. And Tucson even jumping on some opportunities very early. But both games have been very close, which Rabaska even himself acknowledged. We may be in for another one here today if it continues to be like this. And that pass up the field is going to get recovered by the Toronto side, the back line. As it goes all the way back to the 22-year-old keeper, 6'3". We'll see how much he's going to be tested today. This one's going to find it all the way back to the captain as he escorts it to his keeper. The keeper's going to send it all the way down to the left flank. It's going to be sent inside and cleared away. Ramos Mingo had none of that. Not going to let that get into any sort of danger as we await a Tucson throw-in, we wait for them to get their designated player to come down. Bjornthen, the one they decided, had to traverse all the way down the field and get his hands on this ball. It's coming inside, headed away, but there's some room at the top. A shot, fired it in! What a goal early on, and Tucson takes the lead. What a strike outside the box. Andrew Wheeler Omiunu gives his team the lead early at home. Let's take a look at that one again. What a crack on the shot on that play. Omiunu just rips it from beyond the box off the deflection. 24 years old. Hailing from Bellingham, Massachusetts, Omiunu just capitalizes early on these looks that both teams have had on the offensive sides. And welcome to League One, Jan Filion. First shot on goal. And that was a firing shot. Can't blame him too much for not being able to recover that one. And Tucson fans have something to be excited about. It's fireworks night, and they just saw some on the field before the sun's even gone down. And Omiunu just coming in with a lot of experience on this team. Used to play for Atlanta United too, and has had 6 appearances for Phoenix Rising, as Jones now has a look at the top of the box, but it's tackled away effectively. And now Toronto has to play from behind. Faria with the ball. Progressing down the field rather nicely. And now his man's offsides, Perusa. Gives it to the top, that's Serbal. Looking around here. Sends a through ball inside, Dorsey. Crosses it in, no one's there. And Cox will easily collect this one on the other side in empty space, and we'll get it back. It's a start that you most certainly want if you're the home side in Tucson, and a disaster for Toronto, who now have to play from behind. And playing from behind is definitely one that neither team really has found any wins out of. It's very difficult. Toronto is 0-3-3 when they concede the first goal. Here they are. Not even 10 minutes into this game, and we'll have to be playing from behind. And Tucson's gonna take their sweet precious time here. It's knocking it around, and then Morancio just clears it out to no clear target. Here's Muhammad. Okello. Back to midfield. Toronto's had most of the possession so far in this game. In the wee starting minutes of the game, but they're already significant. Muhammad gives it back to Faria. He's gonna cross it inside. He's got someone there. Another look at the goal, and it's gonna go over the crossbar. Good look on that one for Griffin Dorsey, the former first-round draft pick. Let's take a look at this one. Faria in here, just a good setup on this side. And Dorsey just gets a look and just barely hovers over the top. Missed over the top of the key where it seemed like Faria was looking for the strike, but Dorsey was able to collect it in its aftermath and at least give it a look on goal, but not quite on frame. And you can tell that they want to respond really quickly. Defensive side knocks it around for Toronto. And now Muhammad's going to take it back down the left side. Crosses midfield. The captain intercepts it, but a poor pass. It's taken by Perusa. He's looking around, trying to get around the outside. He takes a look, and it's going to go very far wide right. Not quite the look he was trying to get there. Had to whip around the defender just a little bit too much, and he couldn't really get a good foot on it. As you see here, Venter's pass just must have just kind of stubbed the pass, and Cruz was able to pick it up. But too much of an angle on that turn and shoot by Perusa. 18 years old, has been kind of the anchor of the offense for Toronto. Already scored 5 goals on the season. Hoping to notch some more on today, of course. Good look right here. Jamga. Gonna look around, gives it back. Here's Somersault getting fouled. He's going to take a quick free kick, but the ref's not going to allow it. Karen Calado, the head referee today, having a couple words with one of the Toronto players as she now signals to properly restart this play here. Venter sends it up. That's Ledbetter. He's going to send it all the way back. He's going to get it again. And then a poor pass is going to give Toronto a throw. And a lot of mistakes in this game already, just 10 minutes in. Usually when the teams are playing it safe, we already have a goal, and that throws that whole notion out the window. Mohamed's looking around. Give it to Perusa. In the middle, Okello. Gets it stolen away rather easily. That's Somersault. He's going to drive it all the way down the field before he sends it over to the left side. Let's see if Jamga can get there, and he will. We'll give it back to Somersault. Almost loses possession, but it actually works out in his favor. Wheeler Omiunu, the goal scorer, gives it all the way back to his back line. Perusa pressing again. And Toronto loses possession, and it'll be Tucson ball again. This one's going to go all the way down to Fillion, who's just going to clear it away. And it'll be a Tucson throw. Cox is not going to take the throw, and he's going to let the defender come all the way up and take it. Ledbetter, the one with his hands on the ball. It's going to get knocked around. And it's going to roll out of bounds once again, hidden by the team bench. And Ledbetter has 3 appearances for Phoenix Rising in 1 start. And this one's going to get crossed inside and headed up. Vega has it. Maybe able to take a look, but he's going to instead take it back and reset. Inventor's going to take it all the way back to the back line of this Tucson defense. Captain going back with the ball. He's going to send it up. Looking for Cox. It's going to be recovered by Mohamed. Now Fillion feeling some pressure from Jones. He's getting closer. He's going to clear it away just in time. A little too close for comfort. And now Perusa has it in midfield. Hot pursuit, though. Valle gives it over. Faria with the ball. And he's going to give it back to Mohamed. Here's Okello. Crosses it inside. And this one's probably going to go a little bit too far. It's actually going to be called for a goal kick here. Hesitated a little bit, but they've decided that that one went out. Select is the official ball supplier of USL League One and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. And as always, Select. The Select ball sits under the keeper, Morencia, as he sends it across midfield. And back to the Toronto back line. Ramos Mingo with the ball, gives it back. And he will have it once again as the ball's knocked around a couple more times. Here's sent in, good cross. right side. Dorsey enters the box. Serbal gives it a look, and this one's going to go wide right. Not quite on target, but Toronto continues to knock on the door, looking to equalize this match early. Matthew Serbal, the one on the look there. A 19-year-old Toronto native. Inventor will get it once again and gives it back to Mauricio. Mauricio takes his sweet time before sending it across midfield once again, but heads perfectly into Cox's possession before he tries to send an errant through ball that goes all the way back to Filion. And now Mohamed will have possession of the ball, and it'll be Toronto possession once again. That ball's going to be called out. A poor pass by Mohamed. Poor passing seems to be a consistency right now in this game. Players not quite precise so far, and it'll be a turnover, and it'll be now Tucson ball. Definitely not the start that Toronto would like, but both sides have been a little bit sloppy on their accuracy. And right there, we're going to have an offsides flag be thrown up. Jamga just getting a little bit too ahead of himself. Although this game may be sloppy, these two teams obviously very familiar with each other, being this is the series finale. Darren Sawatsky, the head coach of Tucson, himself said that they'll know what Toronto's doing schematically, and the bigger thing is just knowing who's playing. They'll do the same thing regardless of who's on their roster, but their roster is ever-changing and rotating, and players are switched around. They move their bodies around, but it's the same style overall. So formation-wise and tactically, Tucson is not unfamiliar with the way Toronto likes to attack the ball. It's just more a matter of who are the persons of interest executing this strategy. It's Mauricio. Flies this across midfield. Vega with the ball. Tries to send a through ball, but it's intercepted. Here's Avalle, the captain for Toronto. Drives down the field. Faria deep left side. Looking around. Crosses inside, cleared away. Crisis averted, Batista the one. Rejecting that offensive opportunity for Peruzza, but we'll have our first corner kick of the day. And Toronto with an offensive opportunity to maybe draw this game up here if they so desire. Well, so desire if they have the opportunity to take it, would be a better way to put it. So we await the corner. Sent inside. This one's going to get bounced and knocked away. As coach go all the way back to Faria. Mohamed. Box still loaded. He crosses it inside. We got a head on, and it's going to be left of the post. Ramos Mingo got his head on it. Not quite on target, though. Let's take a look at that one again. The first corner was rejected, but we got a bit of a makeshift corner here. Tariq Mohamed just sends it inside, and good form for Ramos Mingo, just not accurate. And it's going to go wide left for the away side, and they will stay behind one goal here in the 18th minute. Mauricio sends it out. He's a 20-year-old, 6-foot keeper, that is. It's Mohamed. Misses that pass to Dorsey. More like Dorsey failed to trap it. But once again, passes, accuracy has been a fickle thing here. Jamga with the ball. Looks around, enters the box, passes it inside, but it's going to be intercepted by Bunk Anderson. Knocked around a little bit in the box before Okello sends it out right side. Jesus West with the ball. That's going to be intercepted. Somersault gives it inside. Vega has a look on goal, and it's going to go in! And Tucson takes an early lead by 2 goals now, just under 20 minutes. And that one goes to Devin Vega. Let's take a look at that one again. A great start for the home side. They've got to be excited. And Somersault the previously recognized player, is able to set Vega up, and he has a good look on goal. And Filion is unable to do anything with that one. And now Toronto finds themselves in a very deep hole. And they have 70 minutes to dig themselves out of it. But that's also 70 minutes for Tucson to make it deeper. Might see Toronto to get even more aggressive here. As you see a poor touch, but it's able to be kept possession until Summersall is able to intercept the very next pass. Toronto just not on point today with their accuracy and their passing in general. Too often they're finding just, they're sending it and it's being either met by a sideline or met by a black body. Mohammed, now be the one to throw it in. He's gonna send it backwards. And this Toronto back line have to stay stout here, that although they probably are demoralized at this point, 2 goals down already. And here's Jones. Sets up Cox. Sends it to right side, Wheeler Omiunu. He's back to Ledbetter. Vega. Have a pretty strong roster here today for Tucson, and the 2-goal early lead has shown that. You got Raheem Summersall, who just got called to play for his U23 national team, St. Kitts and Nevis. They have a couple of Olympic qualifier matches, and he's been called up, and a big honor for him, and we'll have more on that later today. But outside of that, the 2 goal scorers, Devin Vega and Wheeler Omiunu, Andrew Wheeler Omiunu, both have seen time with Tucson's higher team affiliate, Phoenix Rising. Both have had some appearances and have now contributed in a big way in this game today. Jamga tries to collect the ball, but instead ensures a Toronto throw-in. Ramos Mingo sends it up. It's just gonna go easily into the back line of Tucson. Not a white jersey in sight. Eventually the captain just comfortably sits back. You have to think that maybe part of this Toronto issue, which is they just make another one here. Summersall gives it to Jamga left side. He's going to progress down the field. He's got 2 men about to enter the box, and he's going to just about do the same. Vega, Cox sends it inside, knocked away for now. Vega collects it. And they're going to reset here. Zerbel trying to force the turnover, but unable to do so as we get a cross inside again. All the way over to Cox, who has some green before it's closed. Ledbetter steps inside, looking for an opportunity, and it's going to be escorted out. Lavalle there, the captain, ensuring that Ledbetter couldn't get a shot or even set it up inside. But Tucson not letting up despite the 2-goal lead. And here's Wheeler Omiunu pushing him into a corner. Buck Anderson couldn't do anything with it and gives Tucson a deep throw-in. After a couple opportunities early by Toronto, it's since then been a pretty one-sided game. Tucson just knocking on the door repeatedly and mercilessly, intercepting pass after pass. This one goes into the box, and it's going to find its way to Filion from Ottawa, Canada. He last played for FC Zurich, which is in Sweden, just under a year ago. And now he finds himself here, down 2 goals. Definitely not the start he probably imagined in his head before getting the starting nod. But here they are. Looking at this, it's knocked around. It's going to find its way all the way back into Tucson territory. Ledbetter will be the one to throw it in. Darren Sawatsky definitely mentioned earlier this week, just a couple days ago, saying that the team is really starting to understand the system, the Tucson side, saying that they're having more higher level moments, which we've most certainly seen here today so far, and saying that they're getting really good at the press, which is forcing mistakes. And it seems that press has really gotten in Toronto's head so far and has forced plenty of them. 2 of them have resulted in goals for the home team. Omiunu. He's going to give it back. It's Batista. He's going to send it forward. West kind of plays Jamga from behind. And they're going to give Tucson the throw in there. This one's going to go all the way back. Here's Batista again, gives it to the middle. Goal scorer, Wheeler Omiunu. For Marancio is able to just send it all the way down the field, and Scott Jones got a little bit of room. Looking around, he's gonna give it a look, and this one's also gonna go in. Oh, from way out. Filion unable to recover it. And Jordan Jones has his 2nd goal of the season. The 23-year-old fires it from outside the box. Take a look at that one again. And Tucson strikes again. This one's set up all the way from a goal kick. And Jones is able to just collect it, take a couple steps, and gives it a go, a low shot. And Filion unable to get there in time. And this is a disastrous start for Toronto, and Tucson couldn't have it any better. Jordan Jones from Pacific Grove, California. Last played for the USL Championship team, Rio Grande Valley FC. He was signed after the season had already started, the League One season that is, back on May 10th. And look at him now. What a start for this Tucson side. You've got to be happy if you're these Tucson fans here. Given a couple of chance watching their team at this point tear apart the away side. Toronto need to have a 180 in their level of play, especially on their back line and in their passing. As Dorsey looks to maybe add an offensive spark for his team. They're in desperate need of one. West. He's back to Dorsey. Dorsey's going to knock it all the way back to the back line. Bunk Anderson with the ball. This one will go down into the middle. Faria. Mohammed crosses it. It's deflected out. Vega. And it's going to get deflected off to Avalier. And now Mohammed has it once again. Serval. This one's going to find it all the way back to Bunk Anderson once again. Toronto unable to really pierce into the middle of the field, but they do like to cross it. Talk about a start for Toronto. Not even 30 minutes and 3 goals. Once again, they heard tonight is fireworks night in Tucson, and they decided to bring it a little bit early. And they are entering in Toronto's side once again. Darren Sawatsky himself, as I mentioned just a little bit ago, a lot of crosses for this Toronto side. They like to cross it into the box and haven't had a lot of luck there so far. Just one header by Ramos Mingo earlier as we get a foul. You have to imagine frustration is already boiling, whether that or desperation, in the heads of each Toronto player on the field right now. Tucson very much needed a game like this and a start like this. They're in a 2-game losing streak. But rest assured, you can almost guarantee that they'll at least come away with a point. It's not out of the possibilities for Toronto to come back, though. They've done it before. In very similar circumstances, too. Down 3-0, middle of the week against North Texas. Currently sitting atop of the league, and they were able to come back and draw the game 3-3. It's unrealistic to expect them to do that every time they get down 3-0, but it's definitely something to keep in mind as this game progresses. See if they can fire on all cylinders. Vega is going to send it forward, and this one's just going to have a little bit too much on it. Jones unable to pick it up. Here's Valle. Muhammad. Give it a little bit of a trip before bringing it back to the defensive line. And now here's Dorsey looking to get a touch on it, and it's going to find its way back to Marancio. The Mexican with the ball in his hand, 20 years old. Was signed back in February to this Tucson side. Doesn't have any clean sheets yet, but this is just his 4th game starting with the club, or 4 appearances. Maybe today that can be his goal, as he now gets to take a goal kick. These first 30 minutes, definitely a great response after their last game against North Texas, Tucson side that is. Darren Sawatsky said that along with their improvement of the press as this gets intercepted, Perusa then loses possession in the box. The play is going to go on. Vega now gets the ball. He's going to give it back to his defensive line, and they're just going to take it slow. Here's Cox. Got some open room. Give it over to the left side. That's Jamga. Sends it inside. Summersaw gives it a look. Knocked away. And it'll be a Tucson throw-in. And as I was saying, take a look at that one again first, though. Summersaw trying to get it inside. Tries to send it in, and Ramos Mingo just rejects it, not allowing it to get into any other Tucson strikers, keeping them at bay this occasion. Sawatsky was saying that this team's press improved, and he could see it in his first 35 minutes against North Texas the last time they played in the away boxes. This one gets cleared up, and we're going to wait to see if it goes over the goal line, and it does, and it'll be a corner kick. Or actually, they're going to call it a goal kick. Looked to me like it had been knocked out by Okello, but must have been some deflections after the ball went up in the air. Here's Muhammad. Going to send it down the middle of the field. Here's Serval with the ball. Now it's Dorsey. You can just see he's itching to get the ball and bring it down the field as Perusa gives it a look, and Marancio stops it with his legs. But the first 35 minutes Tucson played against North Texas, Coach Sawatsky said it was the best they had all season until a proverbial wall kicked in, humidity, exhaustion, mental things, and North Texas was able to get a goal. But he may have a better first 35 minutes on his hand here today, which has to be pleased with, being able to log in 3 goals. Had a couple shots in that game against North Texas that just hit the woodwork or just didn't quite find their way in. That would have made that game have a very different result. And here's Vega once again. Sends the through ball, and it's deflected. Filion will scoop it up in his empty box. This ball goes all the way down the field. Perusa trying to win it, but is unable to do so. 2 against 1. Usually the odds aren't in your favor when that's the numbers. This ball gets back in play into the box, and Perusa wipes out here, and it'll be a Tucson foul. Must be just outside the box. Ledbetter pleading his case, but Karen Calado giving him a mouthful right now. Let's take a look at that one again. You see right here, getting very handsy, but a hit to the face just outside the box. Ledbetter could consider himself lucky it won't be a penalty kick, but one of Toronto's staples here, crossing it into the box, is still on the menu here. Got a couple of tall players. They can stack up in there. Perusa himself being 6 feet tall. Muhammad and Faria strategize just a little bit. Looking to at least pull in within 2 goals here in the first half in this massive hole they've dug themselves into. Here's Faria, sends it, top of the box. Perusa gives it a look, deflected away. Not able to get a shot on goal, but it'll still be Toronto ball. Faria with the ball, decides to allow Muhammad to throw it. He sends it back. Monk Anderson. And they're gonna reset here. Ramos Mingo over the right side. Dorsey with the ball. Gives a couple skips, then gives it back to West. He receives the ball once again, attacking third. Steps around, crosses it inside, and he's just missed a header on the left side. Faria just not quite tall enough, or not enough air underneath his feet to at least get some contact on the ball. And the cross will roll harmlessly into Tucson's possession. And although down 3-0, Toronto definitely found this game to be important going into it. Rabaska said that he thinks this game is pretty important. It's a little bit different for this side. And their game against Forward Madison, they had a lot of young players playing, but now they have some returning back from academy games. And they're trying to find some consistency once again as Jones gets the ball. Attacking third, sets up Cox. Cox just misses possession, just a little bit of a defensive effort on Muhammad's side, able to avoid another dangerous play, but they get the ball intercepted once again. Jones, surprised by that heated pass. Wheeler Omiunu airs it inside, all the way across, and Jamga's able to trap it rather nicely. It's a nice toe tap, and that's going to be a corner kick one for Tucson. Let's take a look at the plays leading up to that here. Just one ball by Jones, and he's able to send it to Cox, and he's just not quite able to get it a step into the box for a shot. Muhammad able to body his way out of it. Devin Vega, one of the goal scorers, 20 years old, from San Antonio, Texas, is going to take this corner kick. Waiting for the signal. And this one's going to go inside, and it's going to be knocked around and out. Buck Anderson, but it's going to go back into Tucson's possession. Toronto have to quickly reset back into defense. Ledbetter sends it inside, headed out. But no Toronto possession here. It'll go back to Morancio and stay Tucson ball. So this one goes all the way across the field into Jamga's possession. He's met by West, but West is able to steal it away. Unfortunately for him, the ball doesn't go too far before a black kit finds it. So far, a disastrous start for Toronto. one you wouldn't expect, him sitting in 5th place, and Tucson sitting at 8th. But you can never know for certain for any game what's going to happen. And this Toronto side definitely trying to get back into form after their incredibly young roster against forward Madison, but now they have a couple players returning from different things. Dorsey drives it inside the box, has some look on it, but ends up going to nothing. Dorsey just has some fire under his feet. Let's take a look at that one again. You can just tell in his demeanor that every time he gets the ball, he's trying to make a play, and he just drives through the middle of the field, but is unable to really get a shot off, just rolls off his foot. Dorsey definitely someone this Toronto team thinks highly of. Was drafted 6th overall by Toronto in the 2019 MLS Super Draft. He played at Indiana University, had 44 appearances, 2 goals in his last 2 years, and had 11 assists. But today he's looking to add some more credit to his name. Every time he has the ball, it seems like he is poised to make something happen. Ledbetter gives it back to the captain. And he'll send it up the field. Lavalle intercepts it. Tucson quickly wins it back, relentlessly. Summersall. Maybe a little bit of a collision here. A couple of pairs of legs being tangled up, and Serble's gonna immediately get the yellow card. That's his first card of the season. Let's take a look at that one again. Just comes in and sticks his leg in front and causes the whole collision, the whole accident. From Cameron Park, California. Also played with Indiana University. 2 years older than Griffin Dorsey. But now he has a yellow card as we have a player down. Summersall. The victim of that collapse is now on the ground. Looking for the latest USL League One news and content? Follow at USL League One on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for exclusive access and updates as trainers continue to look at Summersall. Hopefully he's doing all right. He's had a pretty good week so far. Got called up to his U23 national team. Actually, Wheeler Omiunu, the one down on the ground. My mistake. Could have recalled Summersall the one in the wipeout, but Omiunu was the other one in the entire accident, but not the one fouled. And Omiunu, the first goal scorer in this game, ripped it real early, 6th minute, and got this goal scoring started for this Tucson side. He's definitely one this team values and Phoenix Rising values. He's already had 6 appearances for them. Before that, he played for Atlanta United too, and even had 1 MLS appearance with the 2018 champion Atlanta United, and also 3 Open Cup appearances for the MLS side. But now he's here, scoring goals in Tucson, Arizona, and hopefully he's all right enough to play the rest of the game. Here's Vega, looks around, gives it to his left, and a miscommunication between him and Cox, it seems. The ball and Cox going in completely different directions. Now Kello, actually Peruzzo will be the one to collect the pass. Dorsey with the ball, has some room. Looking around, steps inside, gives it a go, and this one's gonna go wide left. Just rolls past the left post. And Dorsey desperately trying to make something happen as we get another look at this one. Just traps it inside. Once again, you can just see by his demeanor, really looking to make something happen, and the shot just not quite on frame. But I have a feeling it's not the last we'll see of him make something happen. As we await the Morancio goal kick. Very odd header there, but it's collected by Bunk Anderson. And Toronto will have the ball once again. So we're in the dining moments of this explosive first half for Tucson. Summersall gets possession, gives it back to Omiunu. This one's going to get sent up. Jones has possession. Bicycle kick, and it's going to roll just wide right. Oh, what an attempt that was by Jordan Jones, having a little fun with it. Let's take a look at that one again. An excellent thought by the 23-year-old. Just gives it a quick go, and looks like Filion actually got his paws on it. Kept it from going in for a fourth goal. As Tucson wins possession once again, Summersall with the ball. Ledbetter gives it back to Venter. Batista gives it over to Bjornthun. We'd like to thank First Watch, the Daytime Cafe, for providing our ball kids for tonight's match. And we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. As Faria gets the ball, gives it over to the left side. He's got Muhammad, sends it in, nobody there. Looked like the 4 closest players were all dressed in black. Navalle. Muhammad steps around, looking for one last attempt to put them on the scoreboard here. Avalle. Muhammad intercepted around. Down Summersall. This one's going to go up. Jordan Jones with the look on it. But he's unable to get a touch. Almost a bad pass there for Filion, but just out of the range of Jones. Anderson down to Muhammad. We got about a minute left in this first half. Toronto definitely going to be going into the locker room with a lot of rehashing and resetting to do. Definitely not the way they would like to be after the first 45 minutes. Probaska himself even said, as Okello gets the interception, has some open room, sends it over to the left side. He's got Faria wide open. Doesn't quite force a corner, but he gets another look at the cross. A little too much on it as it's headed out. We're going to wait the rest call, and it's a corner kick. Batista's head. The one knocking it out, and now Toronto will get one last chance, as we would expect, before we go into half. Dorsey sets it up, actually. He's going to let Muhammad take it. Here we go. Hovers inside. Good look. Perusa. But no one is there. But it's chipped up once again. Punched away by Morancio. And Batista clears it out. And there's the whistle for halftime. A disastrous start for Toronto, but a fantastic one for Tucson. Right now, the halftime score, 45 minutes in, 3-0 in favor of the home side. We're going to go to break for a little bit. We have some halftime coverage. You're watching Tucson, Toronto on ESPN+. Welcome back. We are here in halftime right now of FC Tucson versus Toronto FC2. As both teams get prepared for the second half, we'll be taking a look at the opening Open Cup schedule for the last remaining USL teams, St. Louis FC and New Mexico, as well as how they got here. But first, we take a look at FC Tucson's own Raheem Summersall, who was recently called up to his U23 national team in St. Kitts and Nevis. FC Tucson was kind enough to send us this interview of Summersall, providing his thoughts on the honor and excitement he feels returning home to his native country.
It's a wonderful opportunity, and then moving forward to always being in consideration. So to play for the U23s, Olympic qualifiers, it's big personally for me and for the rest of the country. Because with the senior team, we was so close to making the Gold Cup, this Gold Cup, and we missed it maybe like by one game or something like that. So hopefully we could accomplish the U23 qualifiers this time around. From college to the pros, it's been smooth. Like the treatment from the team is perfect, you know. Can't complain. Very blessed and very grateful to wake up every day and play and do what you love, you know. So that's good. As far as the team standpoint on the season, you know, I don't think anybody on the team is satisfied where we're at right now, because we set goals at the beginning of the season to, of course, we always want to be on top, but, you know, it's a challenge. And can't say it's been up and down, you know, we've just been unfortunate with some results, and I feel like moving forward, we can definitely change that now during this midway point of the season and pick up for the second half of the season. So looking forward to that for sure.
Dylan moving up the middle. He's going to push that ball wide toward Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a first touch cross back inside for Dylan and a goal! Inside the 18, shot, pushed wide! Loose in front, it's Freighter! What a hit!
He plays it into the box, headed down,
Oh
and
my
Freighter!
goodness, to Kiesewetter. Kiesewetter in for the goal! Nice cross, Kiesewetter, it's in!
Asante outside the box, Asante, goal!
It's Rios! It's a great cross! Daniel Rios again!
Ryan Brown sends it, and it's a goal!
Ryan Brown!
Lubin, what a save! A second save, loose in front. Lubin guarding the post.
Denied by McCarthy!
A lot more height on it. McCarthy, a great save. On the volley. Oh, what a save. Newton again.
Collier curls, saved.
Ooh, looking for a shooting lane, coming to left. Tipped away. He got it on frame. Olsen up to the task.
Diko with a touch! Great save, Tempakis!
Shot on. Tempakis with a great save. Nice little 1-2. Caleb Richards. Richards getting it back. Caleb Richards.
And Douglas Martinez able to put it back in.
Martinez puts it back to Coffee! Goal!
Lofted ball in, Williamson!
Good build up here for Portland Timbers too. Good chance for Williamson.
Swinging away, header, Robert save, follow up in from Lobo!
Well, the header comes in, a great save, and on the follow!
Outside at the top of the box, it's dangerous from there. What a fantastic finish!
Looking at some of the news around the league, the big story this week is the fact that we have reached the midpoint of the inaugural USL League One season. But in other news, a new leader in the Golden Boot competition has taken the top spot. Ronaldo Damas has taken over Pepe and is now leading the league in goals scored. Moving on to the team of the week, we have two players in the match today that are being recognized for their efforts last week. Both Silva and Dante Campbell are two of those players for their efforts against Forward Madison and Lansing Ignite. But moving on to the League One standings, as aforementioned, we have Tucson sitting in 8th place, and Toronto FC, with a win today, could potentially hop over Lansing Ignite, even though they have a 2-game advantage on Toronto. But with that in mind, looking at Lansing's games and everyone else's, this weekend we've got Chattanooga playing Lansing. Chattanooga, one of the hottest teams in the league right now. And then we also have Tormenta playing Forward Madison, and North Texas, a strong offense playing against the stout defense of the Greenville Triumph. With that in mind, we're going to throw it to break just for a little bit, but when we come back, we're going to have the first half highlights and the second half of action coming your way. Welcome back to Keno Sports Complex. All the fans in attendance have had a lot to be happy about so far. The home side FC Tucson leads 3-0 against the Toronto FC2. Let's take a look at how they got there in the first place. The first 30 minutes of the game, just great for this home side. We took nearly just 4 minutes for this action to get underway. Andrew Wheeler Omiunu just fires a laser from outside, getting the goal scoring started early, setting a statement that Tucson was not playing around today, and they proved it through all of their interactions throughout this game. But Toronto was able to knock on the door a couple of times, just not able to get one in, as this one was a shot by Dorsey that sailed over the crossbar. Dorsey has been trying to make opportunities throughout this game. Perhaps we'll see in the next 45 if he can make something happen. Toronto continued to try and knock on the door, but a big story in this game was missed passes on both sides of the ball. Perusa here, the one intercepting the pass and just having a poor shot, too much curve of his body as opposed to the ball, just trying to get around the defender and shoot at the same time. Perusa had a couple looks in this game, but so far, the biggest story of this game is missed passes, and Somersault here gives it to Vega, who's able to just slice by a defender and sink it in. And this one continued as we had a clear, send it all the way to Jordan Jones, who's able to collect it and get the job done himself on this outside shot. And Yan Filion has had quite the welcome to the League One today. Toronto winning the shots battle, but if you look at it, the score doesn't indicate that that really matters too much. They even have one possession in this game, but when Tucson has taken shots, they've put a new definition to making those shots count. 4 shots and 3 of them on target. Of course, all 3 of those on-target shots have gone into the back of the net for the home side. But overall, just couldn't write it any better for the home side as we take the field once again. The sun has seemed to set over the Arizona hills, and we have a deep dark orange horizon as these fans all await some fireworks after this game. Definitely have to be pleased with the show they've seen so far on the field, and we'll get to celebrate this offensive first half explosion with some fireworks after the game. We approach kickoff. The fans just seeming to have a pretty good time so far. Maybe it'll get another good 45 minutes here, or maybe the gas pedal will be not floored as they did in the first half. Karen Calado fires the whistle and allows play to continue, even though a couple people jumped a little bit early. And we'll see how Toronto has adjusted in the second half. The biggest issue, as aforementioned, was just their passing. They kept losing possession of the ball. We'll see if they're going to be more precise in this second half. Tucson, though, will have the ball first. And Cox will send it inside. It's headed away by Ramos Mingo. Collected by Jamga, though. It'll remain Tucson ball. Knocked around. Wheeler Omiunu, the first goal scorer, 1 of 3. Still on the field right now for Tucson. That's an errant pass by the home side, and it'll be Toronto ball. Dorsey decides to give it back. This one will be won back by Tucson at midfield. Vega, another goal scorer, just misses the ball there. It'll be Toronto ball. Don't know how much you can tell to your team when you're down 3-0, but Michael Rabrowska has to have had his hands full trying to keep his team motivated, but he's been able to make them have comebacks before. Dorsey, a couple of good touches, keeps possession, and gives it back. Somersault, hot pursuit. The press is still on for this Tucson side, and they have the ball now. And now Cox has it, going down right side, trying to keep it in bounds. He's able to do so. He crosses it inside. He's got Jones. He gets a head on it, saved by Filion. Not a lot of heat on that header. Kind of fluttered over to the keeper. first offensive look for the home side. It's not the most dangerous one, but still a good look. And assured that they're not going to ease off on the offensive attacks here. They know what Toronto is capable of. The second in the league in goals scored, with 21 coming into this game behind only North Texas, of course, with their unreal 28 goals. Serbal looking around. Finds Dorsey. Right side, crosses it, has a face on it, and then it's going to be knocked up again, and Filion's going to get his hands on it. Or Morancio, my apologies. Take a look at that one again. Dorsey is able to just bring it inside, and it goes up. And he just has to punch it in the air because Okello was coming in hot. And then he's able to recover it. Good goalkeeping work. And Toronto looking to put some pressure on this Tucson side that have the heavy advantage for this last 45 minutes of the game. Here's Dorsey. Gives it back. Jones is close by, but no interception here. Knocked around a little bit. Here's Serbal. Okello. Back to Serbal. He's giving it a volley, and it's going to fly way out of bounds. Way too high. Easy goal kick for Tucson. Definitely not the way that this Toronto side would have liked this game to be going, especially with their 5-game home stretch, which could end up being more of a relief from this bit of a nightmare for the away side. They get 5 home games in a row after this one, along with a couple of days break between this game and the next one. Coach Rabaska said that the team kind of penciled this upcoming stretch as a real opportunity to get a strong run going. And obviously you would have liked to go into that strong, but now it may be looked as more of a comforting fallback after this poor game, unless they're able to really turn it around in this second half. Rabaska even called it a critical part of the season, or kind of emphasized that it could be make or break, as this one just Jones comes flying in. We're going to get a goal kick. No opportunity is going to go without a good go at it. The 23-year-old. The scary size of 6'1". Can't imagine liking having that fly at you at high speeds. As Dorsey gets knocked over, no call. And now it's going to come back and be a Toronto free kick. Advantage being played by the head ref, Karen Collado, allowing it. And that'll be Toronto ball, 40 or so minutes left. Tucson started this game hot, scored in the 5th minute, and then got 2 more before the game clock struck 30. And now Toronto is going to progress down left side of the field. Muhammad gives a go, and it's going to sail wide right. Not the worst shot. Or it was actually Faria the one giving the look. Not the worst shot by Faria, but just not quite on target. Had the heat though, and was just slightly off frame. And those might be the kind of looks Toronto are going to have to go with if they want to claw their way back into this game. They're going to win the ball back. Dorsey gives it back. Serbal. Okello. Sends it over the left side. Here's Faria into the box. And he loses possession to Cox, able to steal it. And now he's going to get it back, and he's going to go flying down the field. He's got open room. Lavalle trying to keep up with him, but Cox is going to get it all the way to the attacking third, sends it inside. But Toronto's back line is able to just not allow anything too dangerous, despite that heated dash down the field by Jamel Cox, the 24-year-old from Tacoma, Washington. Last played for the Tacoma Stars And his birthday is 4 days away from now. Vega is inside Jones. It'll be back into Toronto possession. Trying to find some sort of offensive potency, but it's snuffed out immediately by the Tucson side. Summersall with the ball. Wheeler Omiunu. And it's going to go back to the keeper. Marancio gives it over to Batista. Now it's Vega, a second goal scorer. Go up the right side. It's Cox using some footwork and then decides to give it back. Summersall. Bjornthen. It's going to go all the way back to the Tucson back line. They don't really need to play with much haste, but Dorsey's able to steal the ball away, give it back to Toronto, and he's got some speed picking it up. He's going to drive down the field. Doesn't get a foul called on him, and it'll be back in Tucson's possession. And he's slow to get up, even helped up by one of the Tucson defenders. As Jamga now has it, has some open space, jukes around, pushes over a player of Valle. Vega now has it. Valle still able to stay on his feet. Omiunu, Wheeler Omiunu has the ball now, and he gives it back to Vega. Some week 2 team of the week. He's currently on loan from Phoenix Rising. This one's going to go all the way over to the right side. Ledbetter knocks it back. This one's going to find its way all the way back to the back line once again. And Toronto is going to win it, knocking it around. Just looking for some sort of offensive semblance. And we'll do it by starting from the bottom up. Marbaska talked about leading into this game that he really wanted his team to have a solid 90 minutes. Obviously, that hasn't been the case so far, but what he said was, instead of a spurt of 45 minutes or 15 minutes of positive or negative play, he wanted them to be more consistent. There's been too many swings between very good and very average, and today I would go so far as to say even below very average. Vega now has some open space, looking around, sends it to Jamga, but he knows he's off and allows it to roll all the way back to Filion. Raheem Summersall, talked a little bit about him at halftime. He's called to play for St. Kitts and Nevis's U23 national team for their Olympic qualifier matches. Darren Swatsky said that one of the main goals of Tucson's program is to develop players, and that that the whole program supports players going to represent their country, that they're super proud of them and are in full support of this high honor. And also mentions the second thing that comes along with an opportunity like this is the fact that he will miss some time with the team, and that means it's a chance for another player to step in and get some minutes, get some chances to develop. So it's a win-win all around for SC Tucson's program. And he has himself an assist today on the second goal. That's why he passes it up the field, and somehow Peruz is able to keep possession. The free kick's called. Almost reset quickly, and decided to take a little bit more time. But now it's back in possession of Dorsey before giving it to Jesus West. Knocking it around. Here's Dorsey once again. Stepping inside, he's got some room. Decides to pass across, and it's knocked away. And Jordan Jones has it, double teamed. And he gives it back. Wheeler Omiunu. Sends it to the right side, intercepted. The whistle's going to be blown, and it's going to be a free kick for Tucson for a foul on Toronto, and now that Toronto interceptor will be wiped away because of the foul on the Omiunu pass. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth program, USL Academy. This allows clubs across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Here's Okello. Both these teams definitely raised a lot through academies. They both kind of give it away a step up to an advanced academy in and of themselves. Dorsey gives it back. Toronto having been winning the position battle in this game and even the shots taken battle, but none of those matter when the score's 3-0. And there's another look that's going to go over. Very similar shot to one earlier in the game. And the same man behind it looking to hone his range. Just get a little bit more accurate on the look. That one may have been a little bit closer to the crossbar than the previous one, but still not asking for much action for Morancio. His goal kick is won by Toronto. And here's Faria once again with the ball. He's met by Ledbetter and Wheeler Omiunu. Wisely gives it back. Here's West. Sends it deep inside. Gives it over to Dorsey. Crosses it in, but it's met by a defender. Batista's the one on the ball and gives it to Summersall. And now here's a counterattack for Tucson. Here's Jomga with some speed, met by Serbal, and Serbal's able to win the ball away and effectively cancel that offensive counterattack. And now Toronto opt to not have one of their own and instead take their time. They haven't been able to really get a look inside for a good shot. Dorsey, or Perusa, draws the foul, and it'll be a free kick in the middle of the field. A set piece opportunity for Toronto as Perusa ties his shoe. Faria, Muhammad, and Okello do a little bit of game planning. And here we are, we have a substitution. Matthew Serbal coming out for Luca Petrasso, 17 years old from Toronto. He's a native in Toronto, last played for the Toronto FC Senior Academy. Has 2 goals on the season. Looking to get some more offensive spark in this game. He's been on the USL League One Team of the Week 3 separate times. Week 2, 5, and 10. Definitely someone that could turn the tides a little bit offensively for a Toronto side that's been lacking too much, not lacking any potency. It's Petrasso loses the ball. Here's Jomga, met by Avaye, and he gives it back to Wheeler Omiunu. Venter, Ledbetter, back to Ledbetter. This one's gonna be sent across the field. Jones not gonna have a chance on it. Bunk Anderson is able to win it and get it away while there was danger there. Here's Petrasso, the sub. The only one in this game so far. 62 minutes in the 62nd minute. Summersall gets tripped up, but is able to win the foul there, and it'll be a Tucson free kick in the 62nd minute. Tucson coming into this game has led for a total of 253 minutes, but gonna add a significant chunk here, having added about 57 so far in this game. The goal is around the 5th minute when they took the lead, and they are 5-1-1 when they score the first goal, but now they've scored 2 more since then. Have the serious advantage with time helping them, making the gap ever smaller for this Toronto side to even think about trying to put this game back into contention. Here's Bjornthun, the one who's going to take the free kick. He's going to cross it inside. It's got a lot of air on it. Fillion swipes it, but there's another look. It sails over. Fillion outside of the box, but that was not capitalized by the Tucson offense. And we have another substitution in for Toronto. Griffin Dorsey coming out of the game. Coming in is 16-year-old Jaden Nelson. Another Toronto native. Has played in 2 games before this one. But now he's going to come in, get some time. Rabaska at least going to try to get some positives out of this game, if nothing else, as that pass is almost an awful mistake, but Fillion's able to get it out before a somersault deflection. As this one goes all the way into the right channel, and it's going to be sent inside. Diving save by Fillion. Less of a saved shot, but more of just punching it out before anyone else can get their foot on it. And Toronto draw a foul here. We'll have another free kick. Let's take a look at that save by Fillion. This long ball that was then sent inside by Coxon. Fillion just not having any of it. Here's Dorsey, not the one being subbed out, but the one who went to welcome Nelson. This one's cleared. And Jones almost wins it at the top of the box and is able to collect it. Actually, Vega now tries to step inside, draws the foul. Close range free kick for Tucson. And Ramos Mingo is going to get a yellow card for that one, and he has got a little bit of history so far. That's his 5th card of the season. Let's take a look at that one again. Vega had some room, and he just tripped him as he tried to get around the outside of Ramos Mingo. He has 5 cards on the season. Definitely wanted to ignore infamous players in the league for fouls and cards. Has 1 red card out of those 5. And here's Vega, a close range free kick, may take a shot here. And opt to chip it over to Batista on the right side or set up a shot at the top of the box. We'll wait and see. Here's Vega's look, gives it a go, knocked away. Batista coming in hot on Petrasso. He's going to clear it out for a Tucson throw. Nelson nearby, 16 years old. Last game against forward Madison, Rabaska even started a 15-year-old in Jaquil Marshall Ruddy. Definitely a lot of young players at the disposal of this Toronto side. It's a good chance for them to get some time with a game that looks like it's seemingly out of their reach at this point, with this uninspired second half by Toronto. Somersault's going to win the ball back. And here's Jamga. Enters the box. Sends it inside, deflected out by Ramos Mingo, and collected by West after Jamga went up into the air for it. And now it's Avalle, the captain, with the ball. Valle gives it over to Okello. Midfield. Back to Okello. Dorsey brings it inside, looking around. Kicks it out to Nelson. Nelson inside, Muhammad. He's met by several defenders. This one's going to go back. It's won by Ovalle. Petrasso, a couple of side steps, gives it a go, and it's going to be saved by Morancio. Coughs it up a little bit, but in the end, harm is avoided. Let's take a look at that one again. Petrasso with some good steps there, pretty much just creating an opportunity all by himself. Cutting back past both Summersall and Wheeler Omiunu. And here's Batista with the ball as he sends it back. Perusa in pursuit, but not with a ton of intention. Ledbetter's going to clear it out for this Tucson side, and it'll go back to Toronto. Jamel Cox, one of the strikers, and gets intercepted here though. Bjornthun with the ball. He's going to send it over to the right side to Cox. He's in the box. Steps around. Sets up Vega. Vega gives it a go over the crossbar. Vega gives it a look at the top of the box. Definitely a good look there. Set up by Cox. Let's take a look at that one again. Good setup by Bjornthun. Cox is able to wisely set up a Vega play right here, and he gives it a go and just not quite on target. Vega with that shot, looking to add to his goal scoring repertoire today, already having one. Here's Avalle with the ball. Met by a couple of Tucson players just kind of all hovering around him. And it'll be Toronto ball. Nelson now has it. Here's Okello, sends it over to the right side. He's got Dorsey, he's got some space. Got a couple of men in the box, dribbling it around, gives it a look, deflected away. Collected by Perusa, but just too much on the touch. And that's gonna be a goal kick, Morancio, allowing it to roll out. We have a player down over on the right side. And we've got another substitution coming into this game. We got Powell coming in for Raheem Summersall, the man of the week. Summersall having an assist on the game, and most certainly will have a lot to be proud of in this game. Played really well, a lot of interceptions. Powell will take his place. Here we are. We wait for another Morancio goal kick. He takes his precious time. He's going to send this all the way across midfield, all the way into the possession of the Toronto side, just winning it in the air. Petrasso with the ball. He's going to send it deep, and it's just going to go out of bounds. Ball boy's able to throw it back over to the captain, Kyle Venter. I haven't said a lot about him tonight, but from Aurora, Colorado. Last played for Penn FC, a team that's going to join the league next season. He had 2 goals and over 2,000 minutes of play for Penn FC, and currently leads the league in blocked shots. He has allowed his team to not allow a goal so far in this game, and it's been pretty stout in the second half as Jamga Sends it through left side. It's Howell back to Jamga. Up to the top to Wheeler Omiunu. See if he can keep it in bounds. Successfully does, Jamel Cox. Steps it inside. Ledbetter gives it a go, deflected away. Bunk Anderson got his body on it, but it's won back by Tucson. Wheeler Omiunu with the ball. Wheeler Omiunu with the possession will give it back to his back line. Bjornson back to Howell. Here's Batista. Someone who's only having his 5th appearance and 5th start of the season. Comes from Ontario, Scarborough. And he's on loan from the MLS team, LAFC. And also has 2 starts with Phoenix Rising. Who's up, who's down? Where does your club sit? Find out every Monday in the official USL League One Power Rankings, only on USLLeague1.com. This performance by Tucson most certainly will help their case in the power rankings and in the regular standings. It's no fouls called. The referee trying to hash it all out now. Karen Calado. Today we got the fireworks night for the crowd here in Tucson. Over 1,100 people here. The largest recorded this season by Tucson. And they've been awarded with quite the show on the field, especially in the first half. And as we get this corner kick, got fireworks before the sun went down. Filion catches that one outside his box. Outside the 6-yard box at least, and the Tucson faithful are able to await for the fireworks on this July 3rd night, but also got some explosions of offense in the first half before the sun even went down. And now they've been able to just burn the timeout here. They may have another offensive opportunity here on a quick steal, but it will come to nothing very quickly. And Ovalle will regain possession for Toronto. The last two times these two teams met, it was most certainly a much closer game. And Tucson was only able to score 1 goal in the 2 of them, and Ledbetter wipes out after he gets caught up in the speed of Jaden Nelson, who was just flying by. And Ledbetter's on the ground, curled up into a ball. Nelson can get talking to. Definitely came in with some reckless speed. And Ledbetter just trying to play the ball, wipes out. As Venter now talks to the head official, Karen Calado, and it'll be a Tucson free kick. Looks like Morancia is coming all the way out of the box to take it. He's 15 minutes away from his first clean sheet so far on the season. Leading into this game, he saved 69% of the shots that went towards him, having 9 saves. A couple more today. Has allowed 4 goals in his first 3 appearances. But if tonight continues well for him, then he'll be averaging a goal a game. This one's going to be knocked around Toronto's back line. As for on the other side of the pitch, Jan Filion, in his first ever appearance, most certainly not the way he would have liked it, kind of nightmarish and not entirely his fault. Some poor play by the other 10 players on the pitch. As Perusa has the ball. It's being waved at. And now it's going to be set inside and going to be finished away. It looked like that was an own goal. And Toronto gets one goal here in the late hour or minutes of the game. What a mistake on the Tucson defense. Let's take a look at that one again and see who was responsible for really actually getting that one in. Gets sent inside, and Bjornthun just gets his foot on it, trying to clear it out, but instead puts it in the back right corner.
I don't even know.
No clean sheet today for Marancio. And unless we see a ridiculous last 13 minutes, it'll just be another goal notched onto Toronto's resume on this season. Kind of a spoiler there for the home side, but still have a lot to be happy about in this game, up 3-1 still. And have played very well, even in the second half, not having a lot of looks. And now here's Dorsey going down the right side. Gives it a step. He's into the box. He's met by Bjornthun, crosses it in, headed away. Inventor is going to take matters into his own hands before colliding with Muhammad. And he clears it out. Jones now has it. Looks around. A little bit of a collision there, but looked like the ball was played, so they're going to play on. Muhammad. Couple of tripped up plays there, a couple of fouls. We'll see what Calido decides to do with this whole play. Okello's on the ground. Most likely going to be a Toronto free kick. This one's going to be quickly taken. And Wes is going to take it down the right side. Met by 3 defenders, splits them though. Here's Perusa, loses possession in the box, cleared away by Batista. They got 11 minutes plus added time left in this game, and Toronto, after getting 1 goal, looking a little bit more aggressive here. Here's Petrasso, loses possession. Ledbetter the one taking it away, and now Wheeler Omunu clearing it out. Here's Bunk Anderson. Lavalle. This one goes over to Dorsey. Okello has the ball now. He gives it back to West. The captain. That's Toronto. Maybe trying to knock on the door once again. Nelson, 16-year-old with the ball. Crosses it inside. Maybe it was more of a shot. Either way, not incredibly accurate, and it's going to sail harmlessly past the goal line, and it's going to be a free kick for the Mexican keeper. Nelson trying to make something happen in this game. Now that was not the most remarkable effort on his end, but still a look nonetheless. This one's going to be won back by Toronto. Under 10 minutes of regulation left. Nelson with the ball once again. Met by Cox. Passes it inside, but is not able to be collected by Perusa. Here's West now with the ball though. Dorsey. Back to West, who's getting off the ground. And a foul's going to be called. Advantage was played. It looks like it's going to be a Toronto free kick, even though they had the ball. They try to quickly reset it, but the ref won't allow it. And these Toronto players keep trying to jump the gun, and Calido just trying to have a word with Vega, but can't turn around because Toronto keeps trying to put the ball back into play. Trying to catch this Tucson team off guard. Here's West. Gives it back. Valle. Now they're taking a little bit more of a patient approach. They can't have but too much. Nelson gets the ball handed back to him. He tries to pass it inside. Valle is able to collect it. Petrasso gives it a go, and this one's way over. Not even close. That's another go for the Toronto side, who are severely out shooting Tucson. it's not going to matter too much in the end unless we see an exciting ending to this game, which would involve an incredible effort by this away side that certainly have to be winded by this point. There's Nelson. Muhammad knocked out by Ledbetter. The home side just kind of playing clear the ball whenever you have the chance to, not having much possession in these dying minutes. All Toronto ball. West has it. Dorsey passes it back. Here's Okello. Lavalle, Nelson. Gives it a couple steps. Good inside ball for Perusa. The outside. We have a cross in. Headed away. Okello slips and falls after trapping it, or at least trying to collect it. And it's going to be Tucson ball once again. As we hear the FC Tucson chants by these fans, you have to be happy with this performance. This team has come in and made a statement, and they made it early. This ball gets knocked around a little bit. And Tucson just playing kill the time, allowing it to die out. As these fans await the final whistle and the festivities that come afterwards. Here's Jamga, has some open room. He's got Bjornthun, he gives it to him. He's gonna kick it around in the left corner and just an inaccurate pass, lets it roll out. Keepers, the referee is telling him to push it further back as we get another Toronto substitution. As Russell Rowe comes into this game for Jesus West. It's Jason Russell Rowe. And it's going to go all the way back to Filion. On side, he's knocking it around, waiting until the clock just strikes and the ref decides to call the game over. But for now, Toronto will continue to try and press on, but this effort can be proven fruitless, and a goal kick is awarded. In absence of LAFC loanee goalkeeper, the usual goalkeeper for Tucson, Philip Ejimadu, Jamel Cox has surpassed him for most playable minutes this season, coming into this game, 913. And now he's gotten quite a few more. Cox has played in 6 full 90-minute matches so far this season. And coming into the game, leads the team with 11 created chances. Rolls us all the way back to Marancio, or Filion actually. These fans chanting as this game wears on, haven't lost their energy and are seeming to pick it up as this game reaches its end, them knowing for certain that this game is theirs and 3 points are going to be notched on this Tucson side in a tight middle race in League One. Not a lot separating 8th place from 4th place, and Tucson definitely will help their case with this win today in both goal differential and in points simply by itself. Toronto, who are sitting at 5th and with a win, could have put themselves into one of the 4 playoff spots over Lansing Ignite. Instead find themselves probably going to leave this with no points as Cox finds himself going down the field. Got a lot of open space. Looks for Jones, cleared out by Ramos Mingo. No exclamation point yet for Tucson, but they have a throw-in. Cox waiting for Ledbetter to throw it in.
I was thinking the same thing.
Ledbetter awaiting the commands from the assistant referee. Here's Vega. Ledbetter gets the ball stolen away from him, but it's going to roll into possession of Wheeler Omiunu, and he's going to win a free throw-in for the home side. Under 3 minutes to go before we add some added time. Probably won't be too much. This ball's going to be played all the way back to Marancio. So it's going to be headed, and a whistle's going to be blown. Jones getting a little bit too aggressive on that 50-50 ball. Filion asking for the 10 yards, and now they're going to take it back and retake the free kick. A couple times that's happened today. Usually all of them have been in Toronto free kicks. This time continues to run out for these two teams. Vega gets possession of the ball once again. Runs it down the field. He's got two men open on his left. Here's Howell. Got some open space. Passes it inside. Hits the left side of the net. Out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick. Ramon Howell, one of the substitutions, coming in and trying to make an opportunity for himself. And here we have again the errant whistles. Toronto trying to get ahead on the restarts. Here's Ramos Mingo with the ball now. Toronto really can't have too much to be proud of coming out of this game, allowing 3 early goals, but one thing they certainly can be proud of, as Cox wipes out, is one of their recent players, Jacob Schaffelberg, was able to earn himself an MLS contract, as now Nelson brings it into the attacking third, steps around, enters the box, and then his pass is cleared away by Batista. But Schaffelberg had a pretty good season so far for the League One side, and was the first player by Toronto FC to sign a League One player, and the second in League One history, just behind Ricardo Pepi. But Schaffelberg's been an immediate impact on the MLS team, has had 3 games that he's been called to the roster, and he has spent all 3 of them having some time on the pitch. As this pass goes over to Dorsey, and it's going to roll out. We're going to get 3 more minutes of action here as we ride this game out. Tucson cutting off that losing streak they had, and now can kind of look ahead and plan for their own little away stretch they have. I believe it's 6 games they are going to be away from home after this one, starting by going to play Lansing. Meanwhile, Toronto will have a couple days to wipe this one from their memory, reset, and then have an exciting match against Tormenta next week, as Nelson's shot just kind of rolls wide left. Marancio takes the kick, and we'll get one last sub in this game most likely. We got Luke Houseworth, 23 years old, from Woodbury, Minnesota. He's coming in for Jordan Jones. Jordan Jones has a goal on the day. Could be pretty happy with the way he played. Also had a bicycle kick attempt near the end of the first half. But overall, notching his 2nd goal on the season. Houseworth will come in play out the rest of this game. Howell gives it a quick look and tries to catch Filion off guard. But he is aware and ready to take it on. about a minute left in this game. Inventor volleys that attempt out. Here's Toronto. Giving a look. Goes back. Muhammad crosses it into the box. It's going to be headed back to Marancio. He's going to kill as much clock as he can before falling down on it. Doesn't quite have the clean sheet he was looking for in this dominating performance. An own goal in the second half. Short of that one, so he'll have to keep searching. But he's been pretty good so far, replacing Philip Ajimadu for these past 4 games. You hear the chant of fans in the background just awaiting the fireworks that are to come right after the final whistle. Jamga looking around, chips it. Osworth back to Howell. Fireworks seem to have done well for Tucson in the past. So far, they've earned 4 points in their last 2 matches on July 3rd. Last season, Tucson scored an equalizer at the death to earn a 2-2 draw against Albuquerque Sol FC. But now, after 3 games, it looks like they're going to have 7 total points in 3 fireworks games the past 3 years. Final whistle hasn't been blown just yet, just a couple of fans being pretty loud as this one gets knocked around. And there it is, the final whistle of this matchup. And FC Tucson is going to take a dominating performance, 3-1 win against Toronto, a 5th place team. And now the standings are getting shuffled up once again here in USL League One. The final score 3-1, Tucson scoring all 3 of their goals in the first 30 minutes of action. It's most certainly a great performance for Sawatsky's side. They have everything to be proud of, and with that in mind, we're going to throw to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have the full highlights, and with that in mind, you're watching USL League One Soccer on ESPN+. the season high attendance here at Keno Sports Complex. Had a great show today for their home side, FC Tucson 3, Toronto FC 2, or 1 will be the final score. Let's take a look at some of these highlights as they now watch the fireworks going off to conclude this game. We had fireworks to start as well, but in the sense of offensive fireworks coming, we had this early throw in 5th minute. Andrew Wheeler Omiunu with just a rocket firing it into the right or left side. And Yan Filion was introduced to a rather harsh reality in his first League One appearance. This ball gets knocked around, and then Summersaw with the interception sets up Vega, who cuts past Buck Anderson and mercilessly scores a second goal for the home side. But this one was not over yet in the first 30 minutes, but Jordan Jones able to really put this game away here, assuring victory with his out-of-box shot that put the team up 3-0 in the first half. And as the night went on, Tucson was really the only one to truly knock on the door, as we had another shoulder shot in the second half. It even looked like he gestured to his arms, Jordan Jones. And Faria with a couple of looks from the left side, unable to get any in, and Cox setting up Vega here for a shot that just sails barely over the crossbar. And as the game went on, Toronto tried to get some looks, but could not really find anything until this own goal by Bjornthun was trying to clear it away and gave Toronto at least some points in this game. But as we look at the final stats, really goes to show you Toronto had possession, Toronto had more shots, Toronto had the same amount of shots on target, but in the end, it wasn't even really that close. 3-1 your final score here, Tucson, just with a great first half, and we're able to ride it out for the rest of it. With that in mind, I'd like to thank you all for watching this game here tonight. I'd also like to thank the production crew for making this all happen. With that in mind, I'm Mark Schoenster, and you've been watching League One Soccer right here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.